One.
So I just want to say thank you to Drew for inviting me to do this for us. For those of you who don't know, my name is Dan Osuch. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at Orthopedics New England. We're based out of Natick. I also work at Newton Wellesley Hospital in Newton. I specialize in sports medicine, mostly with knee and shoulder problems. And given our recent excellent talk on the shoulder by Dan Pope, I thought it would be helpful if we had something similar for the knee. I encourage you to take a look at the website. There's a written out version, a little bit more in detail than what we'll do here in the video, but explaining kind of knee problems and how I think about them and how what we do here really translates into preventing knee problems down the road. I think the most common thing that I see in the office and that we sometimes see here and try to get coached out of us here is this concept of knee valgus collapse, which I know sounds like a funny term. It's really the description of this knock-knee posture that we see with squatting, running, lunging, all that sort of stuff. And when I think about it, if we really break it down, it's a problem that goes all the way from the core to the floor. And so predominantly the position is here. And when you think about what happens starting at the floor level, if you have a flat foot or your foot pronates, the arch collapses and then the knee wants to follow it. Along with that, if you have tightness in your adductor of the thigh, wants to pull that knee across. And if your hips aren't properly engaged, you don't have your glutes engaged to kind of pull yourself back into that externally rotated position, then your knee finds its position. What happens here is that this overloads our kneecap, and that causes a lot of anterior knee pain. It can also cause some tendinous pain either in the IT band or even in the adductors medially. And so I try to emphasize to people in the office, the problem is really anywhere from the core to the floor. If your core is weak, if the foundation is weak, if you can't control yourself at the hip level, boom, the knee goes into that position, okay? If you have tight soft tissues around the knee, that's going to trap the kneecap. To some extent, it pulls the knee into that position. And certainly the flat foot or not engaging your arch is going to allow the knee to find that same position. So engaging the arch, we can do that externally by supporting ourselves with an arch support or a shoe with good heel support. We can also do it internally, and to do that, you want to keep the weight in your heels and really keep the weight off of your toes. We hear this all the time from our coaches. What happens there is that this tensions the plantar fascia. It also restores our arch. And if you watch my knee, if I am lazy about my flat foot, the knee rolls in. It's in that bad position. Now if I get myself in my heels and off of my toes, that knee kind of screws itself back out. So this is a simple thing we hear about every day in the box. I encourage you to read the article for a little bit more detail on how we can prevent this position. And if we can keep our knee out of this position with our squats, with our lunges, going up and down stairs, getting in and out of chairs, then we should see a lot less knee pain. Thank you, Drew.